So welcome back YouTube. Today I'm going to show you a second fix on some designer radiators. Now I have done the first fix video on this, showing you where I was putting all my pipe work ready to fit the radiator. Today we're coming back to see if I've done a good enough first fix to get this radiator on the wall. Now designer radiators, if you're new to plumbing or you're a bit of DIY, you want to have a go, they are pretty tricky to fit when you first do them. The problem I've got with mine is it's probably the trickiest combination because I've got designer radiators and these things. Corner valves. Now these on standard radiators ain't so bad, but designer radiators, they're a nightmare. Now the problem I've got with my little friends here is once you've got the designer rad on, you've got no left and you've got a little bit of left and right movement, but you've got no up and down. Basically when the radiator's on, it's on. And a corner valve, you'll see when I try and get them on, you need either back and forth on the pipe or left and right on the radiator or left and right on the pipe to get it in. They can be really tricky. Have I got corner valves on my house? Absolutely. You know why? Because they look nice. They do, but to do them, them things are going to slow me up a little bit. However, before we get onto that, we've got to get the radiator on. So let's get the radiator out, put it against the wall and see where we put it. Because with corner valves as well, you've got to get your height spot on, because if you don't, corner valves ain't going to fit. So hopefully this video will really help you out when you fit in designer radiators, because if you can master doing a designer radiator with corner valves, there ain't no radiator you can't fit, trust me. Right, let's open it up and see what we got. Ooh, this one's a little bit different to your normal. Ready? Hot pink. A hot pink radiator. Well, you don't see many of them, do you? Oh. Right. Let's get that out of the way. I suppose the good thing about this is it's a nice empty room because I'm doing all the decorating. Just had the floors fitted and the lad doing the skirting board is here. On my first video, I had two downstairs as well to first fix. So what I've done is I've fitted them first, let him up here, do this room, then we can swap. But I can show you the two downstairs, but it's exactly the same principle I'm going to show you fitting this one. It'll just be rinse and repeat. If I filmed all three, you'd zone out. So I'm only going to film this one, and I think I've picked the best one. Look at that colour. Nearly matches the wall, don't we? Now another thing you want to check as well, the instructions. I know most of us just get these and throw them away, but sometimes they tell you which way the radiator's got to go, whether there's a baffle in there or whether you've got to put one in. I have seen some of these sign roads where you've got to put one in, but this one, I don't think it says anything on it. It's just a load of pictures. Good job I read them, because at the bottom here it says there's a diverter in the bottom of the radiator, so we've got to find it. There you go. Position of the diverter is marked on the product. When installing the radiator, the diverter must always be on the bottom. So, where's it marked, man? It'll be easy enough to do, because all you got to do really is look straight through there. If you can see daylight, like I can, I'll tell you there, and then I flipped it over. There you go. So you can see I can't see daylight through there. You know why? Because of the cap on, you dumbass. Oh, there's the baffle. There's definitely a baffle in there. So yeah, there you go. That's my bottom. That is why you check the instructions, because if I hadn't read them, I could have fitted that anyway, couldn't I? Could have fitted that the way it come out, had the diverter on the top and it wouldn't have worked. So there we go. Right, let's get all this positioned on the wall, get it centralised to the pipe, start marking it, show you where to put your brackets. Because like I said, it's got to be perfect, because if it ain't, nothing's going to line up. Anyway, I've got my fluffy mic on, because at the moment we're on our third heat wave in the UK, and it's hot, man. I know some people laugh at the Brits when the temperature goes above 30, man. Our houses are not designed for this type of heat. It just locks in the heat and it's horrendous. So I've got my big fan on, but I know it's going to interfere with the mic, so put the fluffy thing on. Looks like I've got a hamster on me, don't we? Right, so what you want to do is get your radiator basically in the centre. I'm a little bit off there, so I'm just going to move this touch over. So you want the gaps to be equal, so when you put your valves on, yeah, they'll just go straight in. feel like yeah. Right, I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark where my brackets are going. So what I'm going to do is I want one bracket there, 1, 2 in, and I want one bracket here, 1, 2 in. So I'm just going to mark the wall there. And I'm just going to mark the wall there. There you go. That's where I want my bracket, so I can move this radiator out of the way now. So the first thing I'm checking, have the plasterers not my pipes? Nah. That's essential. So what I want to do is align centre of the pipe, centre of the pipe. Alright? Because if you look at the bracket, alright, the top of the bracket here is perfectly in line with this curve here. And that line there is the centre of your valve. So if we line up the top of that bracket, alright, with that pipe like that, it'll just fit perfect. It'll just fit, but that's how I normally do the radiators like that. So the top of it, perfectly central with that, so you just line it up with the centre of your pipe. But always check your level on there. Because I've had it sometimes where the plasterers have been in and just absolutely banjoed your pipe. Absolutely ruined it, knocked it all off, brilliant. So always make sure they're straight. Right, I'm only doing the bottom one for next. Normally what I do is hang the bottom and mark the top. Depends on the walls though, because they don't sound the best. Starting to dab it. The radiator ain't that heavy. I'm thinking maybe ball fix. Don't know, let's drill it and find out. Right, so I've drilled my holes, marking up exactly as I just told you. I don't think I've got the mark on, but the levels are okay. I'm just going to drill the brackets in there. Screw to the wall. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is hang the radiator and yeah, see if it's level. Alright, take that over the radiator to be fair, so I should just box straight on. Just like that. And that should be in line with my pipework. So what I'll do now is put the bracket on the back of here. Then you can line that up and push through with your pencil and just mark it, and that way then you'll know that's going to be smack on. So spout level across, make sure it's level, bracket on the back and mark it up, and you'll know then that your bracket's going to be spot on at the top. Now the other way you can do it, if you want to, you just measure from the bottom of there to the bottom of there, which is, so bottom of your rad there, or where the entry point is for the valve, to the bottom of your top one, which is 360. All you do is the top of your bracket there, measure 360 up, put your other top of your bracket there, and it'll be spot on. Two different ways, more than one way to skin a cat out, that's so you can do it any way you like, but I don't think I've showed it, well I've just measured it before. I think I always put the bracket on the back and just mark it, but you know what, let's do it this way, why not? You got 360. 360. Little spirit level, make sure that's nice and straight. There you go, that's where I want the top of my bracket now, on that one. Let's do this one as well. Tell you what, that fan, I don't know whether the mic's picking it up, but oh my god, it's been an absolute godsend. It really has. There you go. Put that there, mark it. Drill, plug, screw, radiator back on. That should be spot on, ready to do the pipe work. Right, so brackets are all on, radiators on, bob on level. Yeah. Straight in anyway. Straight in. Oh, straight in. Lovely. We like that. Now I hope how I've explained to do that has made sense. it made sense in my head. I was just trying to get it across on camera. But you can see now we're lined up near enough perfect, so what we've got to do now is get the tails in, mark and cut the pipe, and somehow get these valves on, which is honestly, it is a pain, man. We'll get there though. Right, to get where you want to cut the pipe, just put the valve on the radiator just above. I think I'm going to cover it in my hand there, just like that. So you want to line it up with the valve, then you just mark the back. Let me just see if I can move it to here. I don't want to cover it up, to be honest with you, so you can see what I'm doing. So that's in line with my radiator there. That's how far I want the pipe to go in. So just cut it there, and we should be good to go. Now the system is fully drained. Don't worry, they're going to start shooting out, and yeah, the drain off's still open downstairs. That's how I've just done 2 of these downstairs. So yeah, the problem we have now is I've got no left and right movement on the pipe, and I've got no back and forth movement on the rad. So when I put my tail in, oh, this is going to be funny. Bloody hate these. Right, so I've got the nuts on with paste. See, if I put this side on, I can't twist it that side. If I put that side on, I can't twist it that way. And the radiator's got no movement. So all I have to do is just lift it off and just see if I can angle it down and back round. Oh, there's a chunk of bloody paint at the back. If I can get that nut to move back, I might get it. Right, that's on. That's on. That's on. That wasn't too bad. I'm not going to jinx it. That wasn't too bad. It was tight as what I thought, and I had to knock another wall out. So let's tighten that up. Fingers crossed the other side goes just as well. Now I am glad they got chrome nuts, because downstairs they had black, and all they do in the factory is powder coat them, so it's just a chrome or brass one, the powder coat. As soon as you put your spanner on it, or I've even got a spanner with rubber grips on, the Rothenberger ones, don't matter what you put on them, I'll just take the paint off. Does my head in. Yeah, that one don't get too bad. Famous last words out of that. I'll get to the other one now, it'll be an absolute pig. Right, that's tight. That's tight. There we go. All in. Right, other side, let's go. It's got to come down, but it won't come down because the valve wants to go. Right, yeah, it's right. Come on, you know, fit on. Come on. I hate this one. I don't want to damage the pipe. I don't want to damage the valve either. Oh yeah, baby, we got it. Right. And what you can do on these is accidentally cross-thread them. You can. So I don't want to do that. I really don't. I don't want to damage this valve either. I just feel like getting my grips in there and grabbing it. I can see what it needs to do. It wants to twist that way. Just trying to flat grips. I really don't want to damage the valve. I'm going to have to risk it for a biscuit. Hope I don't cross-thread it. Oh, that felt a bit crunchy. That got it. I could feel that then. Two. I hate doing corner valves, but that one, I know this one drove me mad, but it wasn't as bad as what I've done in the past before. I have had to knock some of the wall out just to get some wiggle room on the pipework, but that one wore too bad, so it is possible. But I'd say if you're doing it as DIY or having to go yourself, corner valves are hard. And if you're new plumber to it, yeah, charge more for corner valves, because it ain't as simple as angled or straight. It really isn't. But the finish, a lot better. A lot better finish. Last thing to do on the rad, end cap and bleed point. Which end do you want to put it on? Dealer's choice. Normally I'll try and find out what kind of layout the customers have, because if I'm having like a chest of drawers here, it's going to be a bit hard to bleed it, but they said there ain't nothing here, so I'll just put the bleed on the right. Why not? Then I'll put the blank the other end, give them a tighten, and yeah, get it filled back up. That's Radiator. I reckon it just took how much time we on? 40 minutes. Big system. Really is. Put a couple of bottles in between, just to be on the safe side. I mean, it don't feel too bad, it's just, I think it keeps it getting airlocked. So yeah, just give it home. I've bled all the last one. Then it should be good to fire it up, and I'll show you the other two we've done downstairs. I'm going to say the first part of this video was the first fix. I'll show you how to get the pipes in the right place. This video is the second fix. I said I'm only showing you one radiator because it is just rinse and repeat on the others. There we go, all filled up. All I've got to do now is run the heating just to make sure it gets warm. That looks really smart though. So it matches in nicely with the pink theme for this bedroom. So if you remember this from the first fix, I put all the pipe work in, and that's how we finished off. With this one, yeah, I had to take some of the wall out. I'll show you all, Mark, all the little bits and pieces that go on with plumbing here. You see there, I've had to fill it so I could get some movement on the pipe just to get that one in. Now, this is either GNS or Insanity, but I do use PTFE, but look. I coloured it in. I coloured it in with a black pen. Hey, you can't tell from there, can you? It looks seamless. It looks really good, actually. Save having white on black because it looks a bit naff. But yeah, that one's all done. I did advise the customer always keep the paint just so I can have a little touch up. And if you look over here, that is a very nice looking radiator, isn't it? To be fair, let's stand back a bit here. Yeah. Oval style radiator. Again, on this one, when I started moving the pipe, it started to come away a little bit. So I've had to fill it. But yeah, a little bit of a touch up down there, and that is good to go. I really like how they come out. And yeah, all my pipe work was in the right place. I'm going to say, if you want to know how to get your pipe work in the right place, if you're doing first fix, second fix on design of rads, you need to watch the first video, because I do go through a bit of detail in that on how to get your pipe work. I'm going to say, if you get your first fix right, it makes your second fix a doddle. Unless you've got corner valves, then it's a bit of a pain. So there we go, system all filled up. I've quickly run the heating just to make sure it gets warm. It's all getting warm. Showed you the downstairs, so 2 downstairs, 1 up here, so that's 2 videos now, 1 on the first fix, 1 on the second fix. Like I said, if you can fit these type of radiators, design of radiators with corner valves, you can fit anything. So they have the hardest to do, but yeah, hope that's helped you out on how to do them. Like I said, it's probably the most trickiest radiator you'll do with the corner valves. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you want to see the first episode, I'll try and link it to this video, but it's somewhere in the library. That'll help you on the first fixing. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you all the next one.